And hello everyone again. Welcome back to the Corporate Innovations track. On this track, we will bring to you 3 different international perspectives to showcase the way corporations help innovations through their channels and tools that they provide and created to do it. I'd like to present to you all of our amazing speakers and great leaders in the innovation sector. We have speakers from Czech Republic, Belgium, and USA. And I encourage our viewers to engage with us in the comment sections and address their questions to the speakers. It's the really best moment to do it and engage with our greatest minds that we brought together today. This is my pleasure to introduce to you Leo Chin, the Plug and Play Travel and Hospitality Managing Director. Leo is the Managing Director of this innovation center that is based in Silicon Valley. He is responsible for managing and growing the overall travel ecosystems and connecting emerging tech startups with established travel and hospitality corporations. So, Leo, let me welcome you once again and bring you to the floor.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm dialing from Silicon Valley here in California. And as you can tell from outside the window, the sun is about to rise. And it's just amazing how we as a community are getting connected, even though we are 6,000 miles apart from each other. So allow me to bring up my screen here and we will get started. So what I'm going to share with you today, hopefully in the next 25 minutes or so, is the story of Plug and Play. And we're going to use Plug and Play as a case study to talk about how corporates and startups can work with each other for something that is really, really powerful. So Plug and Play as an entity starts with this picture. So what you see on this screen is what we call the Lucky Building. And this is University 165. It's a small building in the heart of Silicon Valley on a street called University Avenue, connecting Stanford University with very, very powerful VCs from around the valley. And back in the early 90s, our founder and CEO, Saeed Amidi, bought this building. And by pure luck, companies that you see on the right-hand side of the slide knocked on his door asking for office space. And so Google leased the second floor of the building and grew their team from 2 people to 40 people in the matter of a few months. The same happened to Logitech, PayPal, and Danger. And what you see in this picture is the small team, the founding team of Google back then. And because of the access to these wonderful entrepreneurs and startups back then, our CEO, Saeed Amidi, decided to invest in those companies along the way. And needless to say, these 4 companies really brought him a very different perspective as far as how should he be placing his bet in Silicon Valley going forward. And because of the return on the initial investment he had after working with these startups, he decided to purchase a much larger building with a lot more access to startups. So fast forwarding to 2020, we now have offices and team and boots on the ground across the world in 30 plus locations. We still have a very big presence in Americas, but believe it or not, our presence in Europe is even stronger. Outside Europe and Americas, we also have boots on the ground in Asia as well as Middle East. For each of these offices, we have folks focusing on investing startups, folks like myself working with large corporations to expand the ecosystem. And of course, we offer real estate to startups that are looking for co-working space as well. In fact, what you see on the camera feed is the HQ that we have here in Sunnyvale, California. I'm sitting on the 3rd floor, and the building has 3 floors offering 180,000 square feet of office space. And on an annual basis, about 300 startups would call this place home. And so what does Plug and Play do in addition to everything, anything I said earlier, is investing startups. To this date, we've invested in over 1,000 startups from around the world. And all these startups were able to raise additional money after receiving capitals from Plug and Play. And as you can tell, we have quite a few successful exits. In the early days, we were able to invest in PayPal and had a pretty good exit from that investment. And since then, as far as unicorns are concerned, about 1% of our 1,000 startups became unicorns. And as far as exits are concerned, last year alone, we had Honey from our portfolio being acquired by PayPal for $4 billion US. And then in the past 5 years, companies like Lending Club, Dropbox, and Garden Health are just a few that were able to go public after receiving initial capitals from us. And so what makes us unique in terms of the footprint of startups is that aside from investing startups, we also have about 30,000 startups, active startups in our ecosystem. And when you look at their growth, as well as the amount of capitals they have received, they're very much what we call stage agnostic, which in our opinion is crucial to the success of building a platform for corporate innovation. So as far as distributions are concerned, we look at startups for corporate innovation in 4 different stages. The very early stage startups was founding less than $1 million. Early stage startups was founding less than 5. Mid stage was founding greater than 5, but less than $50 million US. And last but not least, late stage startups. So to us, a lot of the corporations actually do have a preference in terms of working with a little more mature startups that have a not just a minimum viable product, but a commercial model that is ready to scale. And therefore, they can find solutions that are more cost effective and time efficient, which is what we call turnkey solutions that can help the corporations to move their needles. So speaking of corporations and startups, the way Plug and Play does its corporate innovation platform is to go by industry-themed verticals. As you can tell on this page, we have 17 different industry-themed verticals, plus 2 that are considered horizontal. So the 2 that are horizontal, one is called COVID-19, which obviously, as you can tell, is very much focused on bringing solutions to large organizations that can do something right away in the era of COVID. And we have 4 different tracks to support that, including commerce, logistics, health, etc. The other horizontal practice we have here at Plug and Play is sustainability, which is backed by an organization called End to Plastic Waste Alliance. And that organization has more or less 30 larger corporations backing its initiative. And in combination, those organizations are dedicated to committing more or less billions of dollars into the value chain of plastic, making sure we can put an end to plastic waste with the help of startups. But outside of those 2 horizontal practice, for each of these verticals, we made sure we bring 3 services to the practice, which I'm going to talk about for the next 10 to 15 minutes. So as far as the corporates are concerned, we now work with over 400 large organizations, the majority of which are Fortune 500 and Fortune 1000 corporations around the world. And some of the logos you can see from this page includes companies like Walmart for our supply chain and logistics program, McDonald's for our brand and retail program, Mercedes-Benz for our smart cities and mobilities program, Munich Re for our InsurTech program, so on and so forth. So for each of the programs, we bring several important change makers together, including corporations, startups, and then mentors, venture capitalists, governments, and universities. At the end of the day, when you look at our innovation model, ultimately, we go by what Professor Chesbrough from University of Berkeley coined back in the late 90s, early 2000, which is the open innovation model. And what you see on the left-hand side of this slide is more or less considered closed innovation. Corporations have their own R&D departments, and they spend millions of dollars every single year to come up with ideas and internal hackathons and think tanks in order to field new ideas and new business models and new products to the product roadmap of a large organization. Versus on the right-hand side, where you get to see a model that is called open innovation. In this model, you have corporations working with external forces. Some of them are startups, others are different corporations and universities. And by allowing innovation to be co-created between internal forces and external forces, it became a much more agile process and frankly speaking, a lot less risky for the larger organizations to test out new ideas and new solutions before bringing them into the marketplace. So talking about the difference between us and rest of the folks out there, there are wonderful accelerator programs and corporate innovation consulting firms out there. But what made Plug and Play successful are more or less these 5 things. Number one, we're laser focused on enterprise solutions, meaning we focus on B2B startups rather than B2C startups. Number two, as I mentioned earlier, we have a very large global footprint with boots on the ground across 30 different locations. Number three, we offer horizontal access to different industries and verticals. The beauty with having a horizontal access is to say for a larger organization involved in mobility, if they would like to learn more about the latest and greatest trends as far as direct to consumers are concerned, we are very flexible in porting some of the more mature startups out of our brand and retail practice into our mobility practice to promote what we call cross-industry, cross-vertical collaboration. Next, we're stage agnostic, which I have mentioned before. And then finally, different from many of the accelerator programs out there, we have zero equity requirement for startups to be part of our ecosystem and be able to gain that exposure into the corporate network we have. So I kind of alluded to this earlier. For each of the industry-themed practices, we offer 3 services: an accelerator program, private deal flows, and best practice corporate roundtables. So let me do a quick deep dive into each of these 3 pillars. For the accelerator services, no different than anybody else out there, we have different batches, different cohorts on a per calendar year basis. For Plug and Play, for each of the industry-themed verticals, we do at minimum 2 batches per year. For each of the batches, our global sourcing team will go out and source somewhere around, I would say, 1,000 startups. And then from there, we will shortlist about 100 startups to be circulated amongst our corporate partners. So it's a collaborative process between I would say, Plug and Play and large corporations that partner with us to vet those startups to make sure we pick the right ones to be enrolled into our accelerator program. And then for each of the accelerator program, in general, we have about 20 startups going through the program. The ultimate goal is not so much about helping Plug and Play to make investments. The ultimate goal is to foster collaboration with startups and corporations that are in our ecosystem. On average, for each of these batches, each startup will be able to get 1 to 2 pilot and POC opportunities with our corporations, which ultimately will lead to implementations and commercial rollouts. And along the same journey, Plug and Play will also make investments into a smaller percentage of startups going through the cohorts. Not everybody will get an investment from Plug and Play. And when Plug and Play invests, we will go by whatever valuation, fair valuation these startups have. And there's no preferential treatment per se that the startups give to Plug and Play when it comes to investing. So the second piece when it comes to deal flows is more or less an opportunity for us to address proprietary interest from these corporations. Think of the accelerator program as a vehicle for us to address common interest at an industry level. But when it comes to needle-moving important initiatives that the organizations working with us wanted to address in the near term, we use private deal flows. So on a quarterly basis, Plug and Play sits down with our corporate partners to identify their tech challenges, to identify the KPIs of their business units for the year, as well as the next few years. And then from there, our ventures team will go out and source somewhere between 15 to 20 startups that we believe are highly relevant to the large organizations. And then from there, we will filter the list down to somewhere between 5 to 8. And then each of these startups will get a chance to present to the decision makers of that organization in a deal flow, which typically comprises of 30-minute pitches from 4 to 6 startups. And as the outcome of the deal flow, there are 2 common themes. Either the corporations love what the startups have and decided to form a POC or pilot with the startup, or they say, this is a helpful session that helped them to generate insights and learnings, which will help the corporations then to make a more informed decision as far as whether or not they would like to build something internally, they would like to partner with someone from the outside, or this is just something that they would like to put on the radar for the next few quarters without taking an immediate step forward. And ultimately, whether it's a partnership or insight generation exercise, it will lead the corporations to start thinking about investing that space, making acquisitions, or doing a white label product. And then we rinse and repeat the same process over and over again for different business units of the same organization, for different focus areas from the same organization. The last pillar, as I alluded to earlier, is corporate best practices roundtable. So on a quarterly basis, and sometimes semi-annual basis, we bring like-minded people from larger organizations together and help them to have a really safe environment to share best practices with each other. So the organizations that are more matured along their digital transformation journey and their innovation journey get to share both the success stories as well as the learnings based on their experience working with startups in the Plug and Play ecosystem. So I'm going to end my presentation here with a few examples coming out of our corporate partners network, one of which is Daimler Mercedes-Benz. So back in 2014, Daimler had a R&D team here in Silicon Valley with a few hundred people. And then they met Plug and Play. And through that journey, their chairman back then, Dr. Zeschet, felt that the R&D team needs some extra energy and competition from outside the organization. So in 2016, he brought us into their headquarters in Stuttgart. And that's where we started this program called Startup Autobahn. And since 2016, Startup Autobahn was able to bring together corporations like Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Z&F, etc., all together into one large open innovation platform. So once again, to the corporates that are on the line today, bear in mind when we say open innovation, it's not just corporate to startup, but also corporate to corporate. And so with a large open innovation platform founded by Plug and Play with the help from Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, etc., in the last 5 years, we were able to accelerate hundreds of startups. And then most importantly, out of those 100 startups that went through the program, we were able to foster over 300 pilots between startups and those large auto companies. And over 400 business units from those large auto companies were engaged along the process. Another example, which is our collaboration with Vienna Airport. And for Vienna Airport, it's one of the most, I would say, sustainable airport organizations out there. And in the past few years, they were able to reduce their carbon footprint by 70% while saving their energy costs by 30%. And with Plug and Play's help, we were able to launch 2 different programs, one focused on smart cities, the other focused on travel and hospitality in their office park, which is what we call airport cities. And so by having Plug and Play to be part of the airport city, it creates a strong value proposition for large organizations to set up their regional headquarters in the airport city. And then along the way, Vienna Airport was also able to identify startups that they can work with in order to elevate the passenger experience as well as operational efficiency of the organization. So more or less killing 2 birds with 1 stone, real estate as well as corporate digital transformation and innovation journey. So this is the final slide for today's presentation. My name is Leo Chan. Together with me, my business partner, Amir Amidi, who is part of the Amidi family that started Plug and Play back in the 90s. And then we also have a ventures team of 70 people located around the world. But for today's opportunity, it was Diego, our ventures analyst based out of Valencia, Spain, that brought this opportunity to my attention. So for any of the corporations and startups that are on the line, if you have any further questions, if you would like to get involved in our ecosystem, for corporates, feel free to reach out to myself and Amir. And for startups, feel free to reach out to Diego. Thank you very much.
Sorry. So, thank you, Leo, for being part of this event and bringing the amazing story of Plug and Play to our eyes and ears. There's a lot to learn, and there's a lot of inspiration in the way Plug and Play fosters startups. And it's amazing to discover all the programs launched and run by Plug and Play. And there's a lot to learn about how you collaborate with all the ecosystem players. So thanks a lot. And it was a pleasure to see your presentation. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
I would like to introduce to you our next speaker, who is Izabela Milewska, the Global Digital Skills Leader from Amazon Web Services. She leads the AWS collaboration with government stakeholders in the area of digital skills, reskilling, upskilling, and education modernization. Isabella serves as a chair of Digital Skills Working Group at Digital Europe since 2018, and we are really happy to have Isabella with us today. Let me introduce Isabella to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me today at this great event. It is really a pleasure to participate in today's session. As mentioned before, I run the Global Digital Skills Enablement Program, and so I want to focus on the aspects of cloud education as well as reskilling and upskilling, which in the current time is more and more important. So let me just share my screen with you. And hopefully you're going to be able to see my presentation. So hopefully you're able to see the slides by now. It really is a great pleasure for me to present how we think about cloud education and cloud skills in general at AWS globally. Why cloud skills? Why is that so important for all of us in the digital industry? Well, this is obviously for the reason that cloud computing has really changed the paradigm, how we provision IT infrastructure. And since a couple of years already, cloud skills have been one of the most important skills that organizations are looking for, and they are most sought after, both in terms of upskilling employees as well as looking for the new talent outside of the organizations. And so here, according to Global Knowledge Report, cloud computing is number one year over year, most important skills next to the other technology innovation that power up today's technology industry, together with cybersecurity, data analytics, artificial intelligence, or machine learning. So when it comes to the demand for cloud skills and for cloud jobs, we are seeing quite a high interest overall. And both employers are posting more and more job vacancies that are requiring cloud skills. And that didn't even stop with the pandemic. In fact, the digital transformation that had been accelerated with the pandemic, if you may call it a positive outcome of that situation, it only accelerated the demand for cloud skills. And today there's more than 300,000 cloud-related jobs, job offerings out there globally. Within the European Union, it is estimated that there's almost 80,000 open vacancies today. It's a lot. That means that the demand for talent is growing. At the same time, there's a discrepancy between what is the level of demand on the market and what is the supply. So how many people really do have that skill set, and how many people could play a very important role in those different aspects of digital transformation. So that is just to say that the demand is there. We should be just then working together in order to accelerate all the reskilling and upskilling efforts. Again, why would you think that cloud is so important? As mentioned earlier, cloud is really changing the paradigm, how we provision IT infrastructure, as opposed to purchasing and investing in your own data centers, servers, and so on. You simply provision that IT infrastructure online on a pay-as-you-go model. So you only pay for what you actually have used, which enables you to scale up and down your operations very quickly and in a very agile way. With that, really cloud-enabled most of the technology innovation that we talk about, and what actually startups are using in order to build new business models. Obviously, cloud skills and, well, generally speaking, cloud adoption is not such an easy thing. It's not just about introducing the technology in the organization. It is first and foremost about the people and the processes that needs to change and adapt to the new environment. And that actually goes both for the large organizations as well as for startups that need to have the ability and need to know how to sort of sell your technology innovation to your customers, so that those customers really embrace the opportunity, are able to introduce innovation as well as adapt to what's coming when it comes to technology innovation. The way we think about the Cloud Skills Challenge at Amazon Web Services is really twofold. On one hand, it is obvious and self-explanatory that cloud skills require technical skills related to how you actually manage the IT infrastructure, how do you provision and make sure that your application that you're building are also secure, how do you connect mobile and IoT devices within your infrastructure ecosystem within the organization. But even more than or equally as technical skills, it is super important that you also have the necessary professional skill set, which is around soft skills, but also business skills. It's for you to be ready to be comfortable in an ambiguous environment, comfortable with remote management. As you all are aware, the fact that all of a sudden we all started to work very intensely remotely, and no longer your employer will be requiring for you to sit at the office. That means tremendous challenges for the organizations to provision that infrastructure for each and every employee to be connected, to be working together, collaborate, and communicate. So these are also skills that goes beyond the sort of the traditional IT professionals profile. And finally, which is worth to mention, is your openness and readiness to learn and have the passion for learning all the time. It is not enough to basically learn the technical knowledge today and then forget about staying up to date. You actually have to be up to date and keep up to date every single day. Every single day, technology is different. Every single day you see new services, new features being introduced. It's super important to keep up with this pace of change and be ready to learn new things. Be ready to also do a revision of what you already know and how the innovation changes the approach that you need to take in your IT or digital projects. And so following a concept of digital skills pyramid, we'd like to say that with cloud skills, we believe this is the lever for moving the sort of digital users, digitally literate, digitally able to use mobile applications, laptops, iPads, and so on, on to becoming digital creators. So not only for you to be able to use your business applications, but actually understanding what's in the back end, how you can make it better, how you can accelerate the change within the organization to really becoming digital practitioners and aspiring to become really digital leaders and true digital creators, so that you can build your new business models, you can thrive, you can make a change on the market. What's the response that we've worked out at AWS? It's a couple of different elements, but the core components are four. First of all, the way we understand cloud skills, we assign them to specific job roles that are so important for the success of any digital transformation and cloud adoption. And those job roles are at the center of the curriculum that we have designed. Starting from cloud practitioner, that's really at the foundational level, both for technical and non-technical professionals, to get you started with cloud, get you your basic understanding of cloud concepts, cloud security, most common use cases, and wherever you are within the organization, be it as a CEO, marketing, procurement, legal department. This curriculum helps you to understand how to embrace the opportunity coming up with cloud being available at your organization, as well as take advantage and make the most out of it. And then a couple of other key roles within the organization are strictly related to technical skills, and these are solutions architects, developers, systems administrators. We then, from our curriculum, we designed and created the format for skills validation, which is AWS certifications. And many of you probably know that obviously industry-led certification is super important nowadays, both for your individual careers, as well as when you are an employer, you want to make sure that your employees have the required skill set. And actually, industry-led certification helps you to validate that in the most objective way. Second to the curriculum and the certification are the education programs that we've developed at AWS. Clearly understanding that there's just simply not enough of ICT professionals on the market. There's just not enough of cloud skills on the market. And we pretty much need all hands on deck. And we work with universities, with post-secondary education institutions, as well as workforce development agencies, to bring along students, but also learners from the sort of the non-traditional groups to cloud job market, so that we help close this cloud skills gap. And obviously, last but not least, none of those training or education programs would be any successful if not for the connection with employment and a clear path for employment. So all of our education programs aim for connecting each student, each learner with potential job opportunities, job placements, so that not only you learn how to use cloud, but you get a chance to verify how those cloud skills can be used in a corporate environment, in a startup environment, and really practice your knowledge and your skills in an organizational environment. Just a few additional words on the learning pathways that I've mentioned earlier around AWS curriculum. I mentioned already Cloud Practitioner that introduces cloud fundamentals and best practices. It is open for both technical and non-technical individuals. And then starting from the very critical job roles for cloud adoption, we offer learning pathways for solutions architects, developers, and systems operations administration. We then also worked on specialized areas that require this particular skill set where you excel in data analytics, machine learning, and other specialty areas. If you look at the map of AWS skills validation, we not only have created the job roles or role-based certifications and specialty certification, we also group them by the level of expertise. And so we start on the foundational level with Cloud Practitioner. And then as you go along and you continue your cloud education journey, you can take the certification exam to become solutions architect, sysops administrator, or developer on associate level, which indicates that you probably have at least 1 year of practical experience solving problems and implementing solutions using AWS Cloud Platform. And then when you are really practicing and excelling your skill set, particularly when you are working in companies that are providing IT and digital consultancy, you may want to consider professional level, which requires or recommends at least 2 years of practical experience designing, operating, and troubleshooting with AWS Cloud Platform. And so all those levels of skills validation really are clearly indicating to potential employers that you've got that level of knowledge and you've got that level of experience that allows you to be an expert when it comes to AWS Cloud, the platform. And then specialty areas are really corresponding to some of the most wanted experts areas such as advanced networking, security, machine learning, data analytics, or database specialty. Now, if you think about how can we work together, I mentioned earlier that there's just simply not enough of ICT professionals on the market, and at the same time, the number of cloud-related job vacancies is continuously growing. Therefore, there's an area where we can collaborate, and that's what I mentioned before, AWS education programs. I want to walk you through the 3 main programs that I believe are the highlight of our portfolio, and that is AWS Educate, AWS Academy, as well as AWS Restart program. Let me walk you through each one of them very quickly. AWS Educate is designed for education institutions offering student and educators access to content and programs developed to get you started with your cloud education journey in a self-paced environment. Everything is available online. Not only have you got pre-designed and self-paced cloud career pathways, and we help also the educators to get up to speed with this content to then work together with the students in the classroom. We also connect these education institutions with potential employers, so that we provide for the opportunity on one side for the students to understand what is the demand out there. What should I start learning and studying in order to think about successful career? And then for the employers to have the ability to influence and to help guide education institutions in how they specialize and how they co-create the curriculum that will respond best or better to the local job market needs. AWS Academy is also available to education institutions, but more targeting already higher education institutions. This is a pre-designed curriculum that is grouped in specific modules that are preparing students to attain AWS certification in a couple of different learning pathways, for starting from the cloud foundations to architecting, developing, but also machine learning or sysops. And yet again, not only this program helps prepare the students for the AWS certification, we also connect those students or graduates with potential employers, so that again, we do the matchmaking between the demand and the supply of talent. And finally, program that I think at AWS we are most proud of, AWS Restart. This is a full-time classroom-based skills development and job placement program that prepares individuals from underserved, underrepresented populations for entry-level cloud positions. It is important that this program really is aiming for audiences that to date probably had nothing to do with IT, have zero or very little technical background. And we work with our collaborating organizations to bring those communities together, and through a very intense 12-week program of training, we prepare the learners to start their career in a cloud job at the let's say junior or entry level position. This program tackles not only the foundations of IT and cloud, but also addresses a lot of soft skills, business skills, as well as offers coaching and mentoring for the learners, so that not only they have the necessary technical skill sets to take AWS Cloud Practitioner certification and pass it successfully, but also that prepares them for how to participate in an interview, how to write a good CV, or how to be successful in an organization. So finally, to conclude, I wanted to invite you to connect with us, to express your interest in any of these programs. Right now on the screen, you see the barcodes for each of the program. If you scan any of them, this should lead you to a landing page where you can sign up, and we will get back to you. We'd like to hear from you, both in terms of what are your ideas, how we can work together, but also if you have any specific needs in terms of hiring, search for new cloud talent, or if you think that we should be coming to your location and we're not there yet, we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you, Isabella. We are running out of time. I'm very happy we had you. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed, the future of services and products is digital, and cloud technologies already are part of the digital skills that are a must for the product developers and innovators on the international startup arena. And technical skills are the basis of innovation. And thank you, Isabella, for introducing us into the world of opportunities created by Amazon Web Services. On this note, I would like to thank you and would like to introduce to you our next speaker that will develop on the topic of cloud services for startups and how startups can benefit from cloud solutions and present to us the IBM program for startups. Please meet Antonio Nasuto.
Hello, team. Corina, hi everybody. I think we decided to start with the video, so I wanted to share first the video from the direction. Corina, can you help me if this is going on?
Yes, Antonio, we are ready to launch the video by ourselves. So just in a second,
okay.
Wait for it.
Okay.
Some people are calling this the new normal, but there's nothing normal about it. As the world's businesses begin to reopen, the question is, what can we learn from this? Perhaps today isn't a restart, it's a rethink. A time to take the things that are working and apply them to the new jobs that need to get done. Today, businesses are staying open in a world that feels closed. With the IBM Cloud, retailers can keep systems up as millions of orders move online. Data is being protected against new security risks. So at leading hospitals, private information can stay private, even while doctors are caring for patients from home. Businesses are being more responsive. With the help of scalable solutions on the IBM Cloud, financial advisors can process bank transfers remotely, securely. Today, supply chains are getting more intelligent, helping ship our produce, stock our stores, and fill our tables. Remote work is working smarter with IBM Watson, helping employees stay more productive and making parents even more proud. Customers are getting answers faster. With Watson Assistant, wait times are being cut from hours down to minutes, and companies are managing millions of calls, texts, and chats. Today, we are speeding our research and our recovery with help from all the developers who are answering the call. Today, we are rethinking how business moves forward, how the world moves forward. So let's get to it. Let's put smart to work.
So good afternoon, team. Thanks for joining this session. The idea today is to bridge the strategic intent from IBM to the world of startups. Startups are part of the future, and we are paying a lot of attention. So I want to give you an overview about what we are doing at IBM to enable the startups to get there. So first of all, what is the strategic update that we have in IBM? So October 8th, IBM announced a big change, and among those changes announced that the hybrid cloud market is going to be our first priority from now on. This is a 1 trillion market opportunity, and it's made of several components, of which the business partners and the startups are part of. So after this announcement, we have declared that the IBM's hybrid cloud platform is our growth strategy. And let me give you perspective how the startups can fit into that. So first of all, what we are talking about when we say hybrid cloud platform, this includes AI, data, and this is about technology and platform innovation. This is about digital transformation, and this is about growth opportunities. So this is all we are focusing now at IBM. And let's see what is the opportunity. So for the companies that join the architecture of hybrid cloud, this brings a value of 2.5 times. This means that they accelerate their business, they accelerate the go-to-market, the way they go to the market. They accelerate dramatically the productivity of the developers, and they accelerate the management of the regulatory compliance, the security. They get much more options in terms of deciding where to go, what to use, and so on. On top, this includes cost efficiency in infrastructure because makes them resilient. So you see the path of the company is from greenfield cloud applications, so the applications that are born in cloud, then the lift and shift application, so the application that were part of the legacy of the existing business and are moved to the cloud through what? Through containerization and change the operating model. And then you have at the end of the journey the full replatform application that goes into the hybrid platform. So all of this is possible end-to-end with what IBM is doing. I mentioned before what is the market opportunity here. So it's a 1 trillion. This doesn't mean that the 1 trillion market opportunity is for IBM. This is for the entire ecosystem. And why this? Because there are several players here, which is the owners of the platform, the owners of the solutions, but all the players like partners and startups that can run business, can make business in this environment. Just to give you some data, that more than 90% of the enterprises as of today have already hybrid environment. So they have the on-premise data center as well as they have public cloud. But still, 75% of the workload is not in public cloud, and 60% of the hybrid cloud opportunity is still sitting in highly regulated industries like fintech. That's a financial industry, and the fintech startups are a clear example of where they can help the enterprises to overcome the complexity of the regulation. So to face this challenge, we have created basically the foundation to capitalize and get where we can make all together business here. So you see here, we talk about application modernization, OpenShift, Cloud Paks, which is a suite of several software that client can use. Red Hat, Linux One, and as I mentioned before, the regulated industry. If you look at half of this 1 trillion opportunity, this is all about cloud, software, and platform, and this is where you can play your role and you can make up your business. Just again to give you some example of leading companies that are using the IBM platform to drive their digital transformation. Bank of America, Anthem, CaixaBank, Deutsche Bank, Verizon, ExxonMobil, and so on. And through the platform, they accelerate their cloud performance. And now, without giving you all the numbers, but on one number here, I want you to think. There are more than 300 new partners that have joined the cloud ecosystem, and you can be one of those for the next period. How you can get there? Well, look, when we mention ecosystem, we mean all the players around hybrid cloud, and this is a very, very wide numbers of players, and you can join this large community. How? Let me give you what is the next step in the journey that I'm sharing with you today. So the IBM partners are supposed to help the ISVs or the startups like you to deliver what they are trying to sell to their clients. So through the business partner that we already have, you can build your request, you can prototype, and you can test your solution, and then you can sell it through the platform, and then you can scale it, because once it is built in the cloud and your business hopefully booms, then you have easy access to scale up the part. Who is the audience of this? So ISVs, and I'm sure that there are many startups that are fitting this type of profile, and technology companies that build and sell cloud solution. Also the companies that are new to the IBM Cloud, and the startups that aspire to build and sell their own solutions. So I really believe that this is exactly the community that I'm talking to today, because this is what I see when I talk with you guys, that you keep going, building solutions that then you can sell. So with the IBM Cloud Platform, you can exactly do this and do more. So what is the benefit of being a partner? You access the IBM Cloud technology, you build with credits, you access services like data, AI, blockchain, IoT, and security. You can create prototypes, you can test in test environment, and you can move to production. You can skill up, and you can get certification, so you can develop your competencies. It depends to the level of technology where you want to go. There are services that you can use, services that you can create, you can develop on your own, because you can build your code, and you can lead the industry. Then what you get there, you consult with our expert, you can chat with developer advocates, and you get your technical and program-specific questions answered. You can identify and integrate the technology and services that are needed for your solution, so they will help you, and you will get more consultation. Last point, you can sell with IBM, so you can join our community and sell through our sales channel, and through the partner that are in the platform. This means to gain immediately exposure and the broad reach by getting in front. You see the number 25 million customer, and having access to several partners that will be interested in working with you if your solution is a good one. So how to get started? To get started, I invite you to go to the website of the startups at IBM. So see some of the advantage. So you can get credit, free credit, up to 1,000 per month, but this is for all. This is for everybody. So everybody so the single individual get this credit. You can build. You can develop on IBM blockchain. You can use the services ready to go. You can build with Kubernetes, and you can get service for 1 year trial for free. You can build with IBM Watson. You have seen some example in the video. You have 10 terabyte free of cloud object storage, and you can build with Red Hat OpenShift on IBM. But if you are if your business revenue in the last 12 months is less than 1 million, and you have been in business for fewer than 5 years, then you may qualify for the startup with IBM. What does it mean? It means that all of you, what you have seen before is multiplied by 12. So you get free credit in IBM Cloud Platform for using all the services that I mentioned before, up to $10,000 per month for 12 months, which means $120,000, which is a quite good amount of credit to build your business and get even more business, driven through the platform. So this is the website that you should visit immediately to see what are the services that you can take advantage from. And again, what you have there is an amazing set of services that you can use even without becoming a big expert in technology. Just use them there. Or if you are really expert, you can contribute to the ecosystem. Let me give you some example of successful startups that have developed their business with IBM, or they've developed their solution using the IBM platform. So the first one that I want to share is Ilex. This is basically a chatbot for lawyers, and it gives it works 24 hours, 7 days, and basically it's providing answers to lawyers that need information, that need support. It's very accurate, and it's developing natural language, and so on. You can find these references easily on the website that I mentioned. The other one that I wanted to share is Heartbeat. Heartbeat is a startup that developed a wearable ECG device to monitor the heart's stress level, and this is unique in the market. They used the IBM Cloud and Watson technology to create the solution, to develop the solution, and to deploy the solution. Another one that you may have heard is Crypto Enter. So Smart Block Laboratory is using the full credit to launch the Crypto Enter blockchain infrastructure platform. You can imagine how complicated it would be to create a blockchain infrastructure on your own, and with IBM Cloud Platform, it's ready there to be used. The last example that I wanted to share is the Zagreb School of Economics and Management that used IBM Cloud to build a virtual assistant that provide immediately information for the students. Now, I like the first sentence in this page, so I will read it as it. If someone asked me just 1 year ago, is it possible to get an answer from the admission office on a general student inquiry within 3 seconds only, I would say no. Well, that's exactly what they have created. So we have two elements here: the idea and the technology to develop the idea, to realize it, to make sure that you can then develop, build, and sell it. Summarize what is the startup with IBM. So you can really use this option to get your business on the path of transformative growth and to success. And you can disrupt your industry. Of course, it depends by your idea. The benefit is build up $120,000 per year, as I said. Use the free cloud for 130 services that includes Watson AI, blockchain analytics, security. Learn new skills. You have all the options to learn more and more skill. Again, the link here to go. One last page, the very last page, it's another program that you can leverage on. It's called Open PTech. And basically, this is a learning program open for free for everybody. It's addressed initially for students, but it's a great option for the startups to get information, education from artificial intelligence, blockchain, cybersecurity, data science, design thinking, and professional skills. And I wanted to give you one example here, and then, Corina, I finish. Present with purpose. I know that for startups, presenting the idea, presenting their solution is one of the most important things. You can learn how to do this, and this is an easy way to learn more. Corinne, back to you.
Thank you very much, Antonio. Yeah, so I would like to address you a few questions at the end. So yeah. I know that IBM offers solutions, but is IBM ready or open to invest money in startups?
Yeah, so my answer is yes, because this is a huge investment. So you see that we invest up to $120,000 per year in a startup, and you can you can deploy your business on the cloud platform and use the network that we have. So I would say yes, that's a huge investment, and that's the investment that we do.
But your speech is very inspirational. But are you willing yourself to be a mentor for startups?
Absolutely, yes. I do this for several startups already, and I meet also business incubators, and we have different topics we discuss, and I usually cover topics like sales strategy, go-to-market. So yes, I'm willing. If anybody wants to reach out to me on LinkedIn, very welcome.
Thank you very much, Antonio. It was a pleasure to listen to your presentation. We are looking forward to collaborating with you on working with startups, and I'm sure we can do great things with you. But for now, thank you so much for your time and doing this evening presentation with us. And I would like to wrap up this day, the International Corporate Innovation Track. So I would like to thank all the attendees for joining us, and I'm looking forward to see you at the next session, where we have the pleasure to present to you our local corporate innovators and active players in engaging with innovation startups. Thank you so much, and see you at the next track.